I hear you grow though. Like after a certain age, you start growing more, right? Is that like yeah, you get taller. That's fine. Cheers.
And you hadn't noticed, these are the same size.
Yeah.
But
we're just different sized humans.
Different sized humans. And that's kind of what we were talking about. Here's the question that I have for you. Do you have the right body to be an elite climber? Elite boulderer?
No.
And we were looking into this, and the average height for elite male boulderer, 5'9", 150 pounds.
Yeah.
Elite female boulderers was 5'4",
120, I think, yeah.
120 pounds.
Yeah.
And you might be thinking to yourself, well, if I'm not those heights and weights, does that mean that I'm not going to be able to boulder at all? Well, the answer is
no, of course not. No.
You can be any height, you can be any weight, and climb. Somebody actually commented on a video and said, hey, I haven't started bouldering, but I've seen a bunch of videos about it. I've seen a bunch of hype around it, and I really want to get into it. And I said, okay, well, what's your hesitation? And they said, well, I think they had said 5'6", 240 pounds. And in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, that's a heavier climber than an elite climber.
Right.
But they probably aren't going to be an elite level.
Very few of us are. I think there's the percentage of people who climb versus the percentage of people who are elite climbers. The elite climbers is such a small percentage that it's honestly, you shouldn't even compare yourself to that. So just the fact that those numbers we gave earlier saying that elite climbers are this, if you're not that should almost be a good thing, because it means like, well, I'm not going to be an elite climber. None of us are. So that means it's okay to not be those things. You should take it as a vote of confidence, I think, that you're not the perfect climber build, right?
It means you're regular, you're normal,
yeah.
just like the rest of us. What I'm trying to communicate is you don't need to look a certain way or have a certain body type to be able to go bouldering at a bouldering gym. If you are 5'6" and 240 pounds, there are boulders for you. In fact, we were talking about how setters are intentional about setting for
Absolutely. I mean, if you think about it, commercial gyms are commercial gyms. They need to make money, and they need to be able to cater to all sorts of people. So it wouldn't be in their best interest to create boulders that only a certain body type can climb. That doesn't make sense for them financially. And I think when you are considering getting interested in bouldering, you're probably looking at Instagram. You're probably seeing people do these really cool climbs, and you're like, that looks fun. I wish I could do that. You got to keep in mind that people are only posting on Instagram their best, most impressive looking sends. The vast majority of climbs are not that impressive. If you can climb a ladder, you can go bouldering, right? Like there truly are that many boulders. Nobody uploads videos of people climbing ladders, but you can do it, and it can be really fun no matter what your body type is. I started climbing a couple of years ago, and I was 50 pounds heavier than I am now. I was 5'6", 200 pounds. I'm now 150 pounds. Still 5'6", unfortunately, but I'm sure I'll grow here in a little bit. It's going to happen. The point being that I am able to climb at a level that I'm really proud of, and I've definitely made progress. I started off climbing lower grades. I can now climb 5'6", generally speaking, and that's a good range for me. And that's obviously well below the elite climbers that you might be comparing yourself to. That's well below a lot of the climbs you'll find and see on Instagram. So just remember, people who post on Instagram are posting their best sends, us included. I climb a lot of stuff in the gym that I don't post. I only post the coolest stuff. And so yeah, go to a bouldering gym. They're more than welcoming. Again, they're a commercial place. They need business. They're not going to set things to exclude people. That's not their purpose, right?
We also don't post a lot of our fails. And one of the things that I want to tell a lot of people who are just getting into climbing is you're going to fail a lot. You're going to fall a lot, and that's super normal. If you fall on your very first boulder ever at your very first attempt, you're just like the rest of us. And I need to emphasize that we don't post our fails very often.
This is what falling looks like. It's pretty lackluster, and everybody does it. Also, if you haven't, definitely drop a like and subscribe. Helps out a ton and builds the community. Thanks.
We're trying to get better at posting fail compilations to make it more normal, but sometimes it can be really insecure to fall. And you're like, oh, is that normal that I just fell? Does everybody do that?
Yeah.
Well, the answer is yeah.
I think it's Alex Honnold, one of the most famous climbers of all time, his Climbing Gold podcast. Very great podcast. You should listen to it. But one of the quotes he has in there is, most of climbing is failing. And that's important to remember, that it truly is that. And that's coming from one of the best climbers in the world, if not the best climber in the world. Most climbing is failing, and that's expected. That's a part of it, right? And if you didn't fail, then you need to find a different hobby, because you've already mastered this one. Like, go find something else that you could try to be good at. But if you're great at it from the beginning, that's not your thing. So
it's pretty interesting watching Yanya climb.
Yeah.
Because I've actually seen her fall on a boulder before.
Anyone stick this move, so all eyes are on Yanya right now.
Yeah, she dropped that left hand down to dry out some of the sweat, hits it, and does ping off backwards.
And she is the best climber, strongest climber of all time. And she also falls. On a slightly separate note, on something that we were talking about earlier, so I'll just snippet this in. We kind of made it seem like a lot of easier climbs are just ladders and boring. But there are so many boulders that are in the V0. So V0 is like entry level. A lot of people who are just starting out are climbing V0. There are a lot of V0s that are actually pretty interesting, like traverses that go like left to right or right to left. You can learn some pretty interesting techniques like crosses, and even like you could do a heel hook on a V0. Why not? And there's some really cool, fun, interesting climbs that are physically easy, but sometimes the beta or the way that somebody completes that boulder is different, interesting, fun. So just because something's easy doesn't necessarily mean that it's just a ladder per se.
That's a really good point, because I think what I didn't realize until I started bouldering was that most of bouldering is movement. It's not necessarily sending the problem. That feels good to send the problem. You want to top the problem, you want to feel that accomplishment, but the fun part, outside of that rush of adrenaline when you send a problem, the actual like day-to-day fun part is the movement itself. And you can have really fun movement. Like for me personally, I love it when a problem is like, it sounds stupid and it's simple, but if I'm this way on the wall and I have to sort of come across my hands like this, it doesn't translate on camera, but that's such a fun feeling. It's such a fun feeling for the body to do that kind of move. It's probably the same high that like dancers get, right? Because dance is all about movement, and that's probably why they love it. They don't necessarily dance because they want to do the hardest dance in the world. They dance because the movement is fun and interesting, and that's what I think bouldering is. So you can have that interesting movement, to your point, on lower grade problems. Of course you can. So go for it. Like,
and it's a puzzle too.
Yeah,
Part of the reason why I like Zelda is it's a puzzle game. You complete the puzzles, you get a little rush when you've completed something really difficult. And kind of like what we were saying earlier is that there are some boulders that are graded a certain difficulty because they're kind of cerebral. You have to figure it out and problem solve. Physically, you might be a brand new climber, not super strong, or your muscles might not be super developed for it, but you might be able to complete this boulder just simply because it's about problem solving. So if you're out there brand new and sending a couple, V2s or V3s or something like that, a lot of times you can be like physically weak relative to a lot of experienced climbers and still complete some more mid-range, difficult problems. Just because if you're good at problem solving, you're probably going to be good at bouldering. We were talking about that Venn diagram overlap of
software engineers and boulderers, and it's a crazy overlap. Camera woman McKenna's raising her hand. It is very interesting. I should do the data at some point. Like, actually, I think this is a guess, but I bet it's pretty close. I bet like 20% of the people I climb with are software engineers, and that's a huge percentage. And it's probably not that far off, honestly.
Or nerds. I play so much Magic the Gathering.
100% of the climbers I know are nerds.
You play Magic the Gathering? She plays Magic the Gathering.
And you made a Zelda reference earlier, and I'll be very upset if you don't splice in some sound effects of the puzzle solving, like
Also, if you pay attention to my shorts and the soundtrack that's going on in the background, it's usually music from Kingdom Hearts, Zelda, Animal Crossing, Hades, whatever game I'm playing. It's usually the soundtrack that I'm going to use. Because those pop music stuff, it would probably get me more views if I used pop music, but it's okay.
But you won't get the right views, okay?
I won't get the right views. Darn you.
And for whoever made that comment about not sure if they want to climb, and if you do end up doing it, definitely go back to that comment. Let Josh know that you actually tried it, and let him know if you liked it, because it's okay to try it and not like it. Totally okay. But you'll never know if you don't like it unless you try it. So definitely try it.
I left you a fat reply. I don't know if you replied.
And a whole video.
I made a whole video for you. Exactly. I was going to say something. Something was at the tip of my tongue. Don't forget to drop a like and subscribe. No, it's something else. But also don't forget to drop a like.
You should do that.
To Caleb J. Ross and Suck It Slab. Also,
it's effing cold. This is Kansas, and what about October, November?
Okay.
All right. Yeah, that's fun.
That was good. You got the gist.
I'm sorry.
Misery.
You're right. Damn it. I living in this area should know that. I'm embarrassed.